Hey guys, welcome back. In the last episode, I reaped all the rewards from Temporos, so now comes the fallout, and every UIM's common theme, make some space. So let's take a look at these caskets, train some construction, and I face my first non-AFK grind. First up, hammer and saw. If you're watching this like a guide, don't. I ran all the way to Falador looking for a saw and shamelessly had to wiki it and had to run to Varrock. No teleports on an early UAM is rough, but hey, that's a problem for future me. So the caskets. According to the wiki, I can get about 55% of alch value from the merchant in Polnivich. Since I can't alch this stuff and have zero plans to train to 55 magic just to get there, this is the route I took. Now, what I didn't realise and what you should know is that the shop is always full, so I had to world hop a bunch. I ended up selling a lot of the items in stacks of 20, just because it was so painstaking. If you've got more patience, you'll get more GP than I did. Just to fill some time while I open these caskets. Like I said last video, this account and really this whole series was a bit of an experiment. I like the challenge of limited space, only keeping what matters, and if I can convince even one of you to try UIM and have fun with it, mission accomplished. Also, sorry for the long break. I'm recording this a few months after I've recorded these clips, and I have no doubt that the video will be a while after that. I'll start showing on screen when the clips were actually recorded, but like a lot of you, I've got a family, full-time job, and the only time I really get to play OSRS is late at night, which means that most of my stuff is post-commentary, not live. I'm sure some of you can relate. And honestly, thank you. The support on the last video was really cool. I'm not doing these to grow a channel or anything like that. I just wanted to document the account, see if anyone else finds it fun or interesting, maybe even learn a thing or two about editing, since I've never really touched proper editing software before. So yeah, it's slow going, but I'm figuring it out. And the clue scrolls, yeah, I'm not doing them. The only thing I might want is ranger boots, and without teleports, it's just not worth the hassle in my opinion, or the inventory space. 2 million GP. It's kind of underwhelming, and it might not seem like much, but I keep having to tell myself this early on a Iron Man. In general, it's huge. I kept the gems, key halves and gold bars. As for the key halves, I've got no idea yet, because you can't stack them from the Tavli chest, the dragon stones, but they just feel way too important to drop. I am unfortunately a hoarder. My regular Iron Man bank is always full, and space is going to be one of the biggest struggles on this game mode. I can feel it. That's the whole game mode in itself. So I threw everything in the looting bag, a problem for another day, except the planks. This was one of the first internal struggles. I knew I should be unloading the planks at files and making ladders, even with the normal planks, but I tried it, and normal planks using nails, you fail like, it seems like 90% of the time. It was just painful. And then I remembered something that I saw in a speedrun at Port Piscarilius, a method that's AFK, the good kind of AFK. But for that method you need 30 crafting and 30 construction. Well, 30 construction is already done, but 30 crafting, it sounds simple, right? Like any noob, I thought cowhides. So I grabbed a needle, thread, sword, and headed to Lumbridge. The plan was to tan hides to level 20, cut sapphires from there and buy the rest from Alcadrid using my main to restock the gem shop, which didn't work. I even tried it on my Iron Man, restocking the shop, and that didn't work either. I was almost certain this was a thing. Maybe it's how out of touch I am, but apparently not. But then I remembered I had gems in my looting bag, which meant my first death bank. A PSA for all new UIMs, or just anyone in general wanting to know how a looting bag works. The looting bag works by allowing you to put items into it while in the wilderness, but that includes Ferox Enclave. You will never be able to access these items unless you die. An easy spot to die is the nettles at Draenor Village without equipped gloves. When you die as a UAM, everything on you, including what was in your looting bag, drops on the floor for 1 hour. You can have multiple death piles, meaning you can die more than once, and they will all have a separate 1 hour timer. It also follows you around to whatever world you log into. The timer doesn't have a countdown when you're logged off. So if you drop your items and get PK'd, for instance, your items are still sitting there on their separate timer. Then you can go back into the wilderness, obtain a new looting bag, or if you have points to get a looting bag from the Last Man Standing shop, go back to your death pile and rearrange your items. You never have to actually step foot into the wilderness apart from when you're risking nothing to obtain a new looting bag. Utilise the tunnel that runs from Soul Wars to Ferox Enclave. If you have a lot of items, you may have to do multiple trips through the tunnels. And of course that doesn't apply if you've got a teleport to get to Ferox. But you can also do it the stupid way, which you see me doing here. It was the quick and painless way, and for some reason it was the only way that I remembered that you could do it, and it was probably from like 2014 when I saw a video, but it was risky and stupid. So I cut the jades from the bag. It got me to 26 crafting, and I finished it with sapphire amulets. A quick note for UAMs, when you unload at a bank, it fills your whole inventory, whatever empty space you have. You don't get to choose. So you have to do some fancy drop tricks. In this case, withdraw 8 sapphires, cut them, drop 8 sapphires, withdraw 8 gold bars, drop 4 gold bars, pick up 4 sapphires, run them over, smelt them, come back, get whatever was on the ground, rinse and repeat. And obviously this scales to if you've got more inventory space. And if that sounds complicated, don't worry, it gets easier. 30 crafting. I ended up using the oak planks, doing ladders and tables. It was terrible, but construction training on a UAM looks so hard that I didn't mind a couple of hours and multiple sessions of very efficient XP. It was for the grand plan, I kept telling myself. At 50 construction I made a toy room, which UAMs can store a lot of items like armor and untradables, and it's one of the most necessary things that you need to do on a UAM, and having one this early felt like an achievement, and I was quite proud of it. Then it was time. Cranes. Absolute heaven. They give 4 times your crafting and construction level in XP per plank, and it can be any type of plank and any type of nail. They all have the same rate. My method was to repair a crane, hop through 3 to 4 worlds, unnote planks at the north bank and do it again. Each repair took about 30 to 60 seconds. Sometimes they would repair almost instantaneously, sometimes they'd take longer than 60 seconds, but I really didn't care. I could have sat there for the next year, to be honest. I really didn't mind the slow pace. Like all good things. $69 construction and 62 crafting. Not bad. So here's the current skills tab and looting bag. Not sure what I'll do next. Maybe more construction? How do you train construction passively on a UAM? Stay musing, folks.